Whoa, 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 whoa! If you're thinking or considering coming to the Moon Lake Gathering on August 6th and 7th, 2021, man, we've had some major monumental changes. Some things have happened. Too many people are planning on coming, and we've had to do some shifting around. So I'm with Kent, Mark, and Bryce here to tell us what's going on. And in my opinion, I think this is even going to be better. So with that, hit it, Mark.
Well, we had such an overwhelming response, and a lot of guys were calling the Forest Service to get campgrounds, and we decided we had to move it. We just outgrew Moon Lake, which in some ways is kind of a bummer, and in a lot of ways it's much better. So one of our speakers lives in the area, and she secured the Altamont Park in Altamont, which is there's just two little towns that kind of feed into Moon Lake, and Altamont's one of them. So it's a little bit of a, it's only a few miles from what, Mountain Home. I think Stringham 10 miles.
Mountain Home to Altamont's 9 miles.
Okay.
But it's actually, if you're coming from Duchesne, you'll turn to go east a couple of miles. So it's probably more like 6 or 7 miles from.
Yeah. So actually, the road feeds into Altamont. You got to pull off the road to go to Mountain Home. And so we've got the park there, and we've got, Greg sent me this morning. So for the people that are coming, we've got Chills mixed sodas coming, Grub and Growl Dutch Oven on Friday night, the Outlaw Barbecue said that they'd be there for Friday and Saturday, and Christopher's Steakhouse will be there both nights as of right now for food venues at the park.
So that's if you don't want to do your own cooking. They're going to have stuff there that you can buy to eat.
Right, but we're kind of a little bit bummed about not going to Moon Lake, but the park's going to actually be a lot better. We've got Terry's got some pictures. We've got a pavilion now that we'll be talking from, which is good, and you won't be sitting in sagebrush or sitting on a log out in the middle of nowhere. And we bring your chair still, and I would say bring a sweatshirt just in case at the night. But in all, it's a better deal, and we kind of think we dodged a bullet, because had this not have happened when it did, we would have had, who knows, a ton of cars going up there, and Moon Lake just can't take care of the cars. That's really the bottom line right there.
Yeah, it was just had so much of an overwhelming response, so there's just not enough room, and the Forest Service says, hey, you better think real hard about this.
This will be better. Yeah, it'll be better. We could have taken the people. We had a big enough area to take a lot of people, lots and lots of people at the lake, but we didn't have a place to put the cars. That's the killer right there. So a lot of us are still camping at the lake, at the campground up there, those that got rooms early enough. And I know Bryce got a room at Mountain Home Lodge, but we'll just go from there over to Altamont, when the time comes, and then come back.
And we had a flyer with all the information on places to stay, and even with the Forest Service, with the campground up there, you can still always call in case somebody cancels the reservations. You might get something, but pretty much everything right there is booked. So
at the lake, at Mountain Home Lodge, all the other surrounding areas, I really haven't checked with them, but I guess I might as well throw in, I called the Best Western in Duchesne today, and they have 37 rooms available on that weekend as of this morning. But the gentleman that owns the Best Western up there was telling me that they're having a booming summer, and the week before, I think, is the Duchesne Days County Fair up there, and they just packed the hotel. So if you're thinking about staying in Duchesne, and Duchesne is 28 miles from Altamont, but a very nice Best Western. There's also another Winterton Suites there. I'm sure they both have rooms, but you want to get on top of that as fast as you can if you're going to camp or stay anywhere in the area. Talk about the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds to the west of Altamont, there is an old rodeo fairgrounds there, and we arranged several months ago to make available the big huge dirt parking lot they have there for anybody that has an RV or a camper that wants to come up there and camp. There are no facilities, no restrooms. I was told there may be some water there, but you know, pack in your garbage, pack it out, make sure you're self-contained. You might be able to put a tent up over there.
I bet you can.
Well, without any restrooms, though, I'd say you need to have a trailer that's self-contained.
Yeah, you need to have bathroom facilities, even if you go up with a tent. You know, our goal is to leave the place better than we found it. I'm sure Mark and I will be there Sunday morning picking up whatever garbage is left behind, but you know, please
and they go ahead, sorry.
Well, we're hoping that if we do this again up there, we hope we leave the community thankful that we came, because they've been really good to us.
So, and they're just going to let you camp there, no charge?
No charge.
Yeah, so they'll just let you, if you got a self-contained, I mean, you can't be going out to the bathroom out there, so you got to have a self-contained.
No, you need a toilet facilities with you. I mean, you can drive into town, I guess, to the gas station, or over to the park, but yeah, you need, it's really flat. It's, you know, you're not going to be on a place where you're, you know, leaning left or right or upside down. So it's a real good place for an RV.
Free, and there's no camping at the park, and they're a mile away from each other. So we're close. It's close.
So the thing, you know, I'm like you. I'm kind of bummed because the atmosphere up at Moon Lake would be great, but down here, you know, like we said, it's you're not going to be in the dirt, you're not going to be in the sagebrush, it'll be a lawn, still bring your camp chairs, still bring a coat in case it gets cold at night. But man, this is right the town where all the drainage is drained right into this town. So from right here, it's a straight shot up to Moon Lake, a straight shot up to Rock Creek, a straight shot up to Yellowstone, which is where all the Spanish gold stories are at, all that area. So you know, that kind of makes it even a little bit nicer than there, and we're going to be up there camping up at the Moon Lake area, and during the day we're going to have some powwows. We're going to have some
absolutely.
Well, we're going to both go up Wednesday night, and I know for me, I'm planning to be in at the lake Thursday and Friday with my cooler, a bunch of good food, and my fishing pole. Just taking it easy until the powwow starts. So. Well,
now, String, but there still is some. Before you get to the lake, there's some free camping just on the sides.
There's a little bit of off-road camping on the way up to Moon Lake. You just definitely want to make sure you're not in any Indian lands, Ute Indian tribe lands. You can end up losing your car or your camper or your motorhome. And so if you get on most maps, it'll show you where the reservation is. And I think on the road up there, there's two little ponds. It's called Two Pots. Once you get past that, I think you're okay. There's a few little pullouts, but you know,
make sure
10, 20 people at the most. Now, there's a place called Yellowstone on the way up, but that's all on our flyer we put on your YouTube channel.
So here's what I'm excited about, because there's a lot of people coming, and that's the treasure right there, is the people you're going to get to meet that you never got to see or meet before. This is a great opportunity for that. The stories you're going to get to hear. You know?
Oh boy.
Man, I can't wait to hear some of the stories, and I don't know if anybody's going to be willing or bringing any artifacts, but at some of your powwows before, we've
had some good stuff.
You know, you're not going to be able to see them any other way. So, man, I can't wait to see everybody.
This is also family friendly, and they haven't mentioned, excuse me, the park rules. No alcoholic beverages of any kind at this function. Bring your good stuff up. We want to hear the stories. We want to see photos or anything that you've got and hear the stories. You can give them on the open mic, or you can wait till after or during the daytime, sharing stories if you don't want them shared with the crowds and that. But bring up your good stories. We hear lots of them, and this is the best way to hear them is at the powwow. You'll hear a lot with the mics, but you'll have the potential for hearing even more in small groups and gatherings before and after.
And I would say spread the word, because we have no clue
of who's coming. So if you get this video and you know friends of yours that are thinking about coming, tell them this, because it's not going to be at Moon Lake. And I'll tell you, you're going to go right past the store. If people don't know, you're going to go right past the store at Moon Lake, Mountain Home. And if you want, I'm sure Greg will have some maps in there. You just got to backtrack and turn around and go 10 miles. It's no big deal. But don't go to Moon Lake unless you're camping there, or if you want to go hang there during the day. But the powwow will be Altamont Park.
And we encourage people to go up the lake. Greg Gardner and his wife that own the resort at Moon Lake and the lodge in Mountain Home, they've been amazing working with us. Greg's really the one lined up all the food trucks. And even though we have food trucks lined up, I'd say, you know, bring extra food in case maybe a food truck doesn't show up. We're not 100%. They're just kind of on their own, and we're allowing them to come join us.
So they committed to him.
We've got commitments from them, but you know, go up to the resort, go in the lodge up there, say hi to Greg, you know, buy some t-shirts. We'd really like you to support Greg and all he's done for us to make this something that's happening.
Hey, I think Patsy told me that the whole town of Altamont's thinking of showing up.
I think so. I do. I read that. Greg told me to go on their Facebook page and join up, and I was reading the comments, and I think the dang town's coming. It's a small town, but our posters that we've got all over the basin, so there's the wild card, is we don't know who's coming.
Well, we got a thing today from a couple that owns a snow cone truck, and they're in Vernal, and they want to get involved. They want to come because something in Vernal canceled. So we got a couple of weeks. More things could happen, but you know, it's amazing who's hearing about this, and because we're not the best advertisers in the world.
But Terry is.
But yeah, this is all because of Terry.
Man, maybe I put too much on YouTube. Too many people are coming. But you can never have, man, I want to meet everybody. You can never have enough friends.
You know what, Terry? I was talking to, we have so we have 3 speakers on each night. But I was talking to the Bigfoot guy on Friday night, Daryl, and I was just telling him, I said, you know, Daryl, the after party is much funner than the party. And he goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, a lot of people don't want to get up and talk in front of people, but they'll talk after the whole thing's over. And we have had, in our past powwows, we have had the best time after, because a lot of the hardcore boys stay. The hardcore boys that love this stuff stay, and it's just...
So, Mark, for people that don't know who you are, I'm going to pin you down for a story right now, and the story I want out of you is about the owner of Kellyco's way back when he had his museum. Tell him about your experience with Stu.
Stu Arbach. A friend of ours, one of the powwow boys, he can put stuff together. I mean, listen, trust me, it wasn't me, but he could put stuff together like you wouldn't believe. We're friends with Gary Drayton because of Roger. We met of Oak Island. We went down there to metal detect with Gary, and Roger lined us up for an interview with Stu Arbach, who has since passed away, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. He owned Kellyco, the big metal detector boys, and I've heard I think you told me, Terry, that they have since sold it.
Yeah.
So we go in to, it's right there, I don't know, it's Miami is what I'd say.
Well, tell him too, you only got like a 10-minute time slot to go talk to him.
So we go in, and his guy meets us at the door, and we're here at 1, whatever, and he goes, now, Stu is a very busy man. And we said, okay, we appreciate that. And he says, he can only give you 10, 15 minutes. And we said, okay, we'll honor that. And so Roger's a lot like Terry. He has cameras and all this stuff, and he was going to do an interview. So coolest building I've ever seen. I mean, it was a museum that he sold metal detectors out of, and he had it set up, and it was just amazing. And so we go upstairs and sat down with Stu. He comes in, older man then, and we sit down. And so him and I start talking, and I didn't know that Roger was even doing the camera yet, and we were gabbing and gabbing and gabbing and gabbing. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I said, Stu, he said, no, don't you worry about the time. We're good. Just keep going, because I'm telling you, Stu, he was like practically calling me son when we left there. We got talking. He had a great big nugget around his neck, and I said, Stu, tell me about this nugget. And he kept going behind his shirt, and I said, Stu, pull that out and let's see this nugget. Well, Stu was really, I mean, arguably the guy that started metal detecting in the United States. He started way early, way early, and he had some old military minesweepers or something, and he was selling them off of his kitchen table, he told me, and it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. So anyway, I said, so what's the story in this big nugget? And he said, well, I found all these rings and I didn't know what to do with them, and so he melted them down and had a guy make this big nugget about that big around, and had it around his neck. And so we get through the interview and talking to him, and we're going downstairs to go through the museum, and he had this what do you call, display case with glass and stuff, and they found some Spanish dragoons, and it's like a flintlock pistol, and the buggers are like this long, and he snapped his fingers to his guy, and he comes, open this up. So he opens it up, hands me one, and on the hill of the gun, I guess it's called the hill, there were one of them they left original. It had a lot of the well, I don't know, coral or barnacles, whatever, and then they had one cleaned up, but the hill of the gun had, one of them had like a smiling, I know this sounds crazy, but I got the picture, a smiling like lion, and the other one had a frowning lion on that little bronze or whatever cap thing
on the bottom.
Yeah, and so he hands it to me. I mean, this gun is huge. I can't imagine what they'd be worth, but he was a great guy. I very much liked him. And the funny thing is, they had, oh, I don't know, 6 months later, they had their 50th anniversary or something, and they contacted me and Roger to see if we wanted to come to this thing, you know, their party. And I told Roger, I said, I'm going to fly in clear to Miami just to go to a one-night deal. But he went, and he met some treasure hunters that, Terry, we got to chase down. The Schmitz. Interesting. I haven't met him, but Roger has talked to him. So that's my Stu Arbach story.
So I want to try and get out of you, man. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I want to try and get that interview from your friend Roger, man, so we can let everybody see that, man. Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to work on him.
I would love to work on it,
Okay.
because it was a good interview. It was cool. We were there for 2 hours probably. He gave us shirts when we left, and he was a good guy. Good, nice guy, good guy. I liked him. Well, Kent and I have been chasing down speakers for 22 years, and I think we've got some really good ones. Both nights, I think they are really interesting speakers.
Well, and yet,
not to mention the open mic.
We've had one guy kind of complain about how stupid all this is, but the thing is if you're mining for treasure, this is just a fun event. Come up and mine for some information. That's what the whole thing is to rub shoulders with people, and then create your own adventure after that.
Yeah, this is the treasure, meeting the people.
That's the whole thing.
Kent, you've been pretty quiet. That ain't like you. What's up, man? Say something.
I don't know what to say. Speechless. That doesn't happen very often. My wife would tell anybody that, but no, this should be a really good time. They're lots of fun. I would like to, typically, because we usually feed people, we're not going to do that, but because we usually feed people, there's so much logistics that I don't get as much time as I would like to go rub shoulders and talk to people, but I get contacted all year long with emails and phone calls and that with people wanting information, or I've got a big library. I do research for people. I have people contact me constantly, and this is a great place to talk to people. You have no idea until you come to one of these the type of information you're going to get, not just from our speakers that we've lined up, but rubbing shoulders with people. The person sitting next to you may have already found Montezuma's treasure or something, and you might find out about it at this thing. When you get talking before and after and in between speakers, it's amazing the stories you get from people. All right, we've been talking about the gathering at Moon Lake, and it is in fact free. Anybody can come. It doesn't cost anything. There will be food vendors there, or at least we're told there will be food vendors there for you to buy things, and there may be other booths there for you to buy things. Bring a little bit of cash, support those people. But one thing we did want to mention, even though we're doing it for free, we do incur costs. One of the costs is when we switch from Moon Lake down to the park, it's costing us $150. We have a lot of other costs, and so we will have some donation jars out if you feel so inclined, if you think it's worthwhile and something you might want to continue out in the basin. If you think it's good, would appreciate any donations that we might get. We do incur quite a bit of cost. We spend a whole year planning these things. We have several meetings where we get together with the people planning, and we go out and interview the people that are going to talk. This is to try to eliminate the people that are either boring or way too far out there that we think will chase people away. We do all kinds of things for a full year to try to put these together. So if you can support us, do. If you don't feel like you can, no problem. Just come so we can enjoy your company there and hear your stories.
And I just want to say, you know, and it's been more for you guys than me, but a little bit for me, man. This whole thing, putting this whole thing on, is a pain in the butt. You know, I mean, and there's no monetary value. It's free. You know, we're just doing it so that we can get to meet everybody, but that's what's making it worth it. You know, having to deal with the too many people figuring out that the Forest Service ain't happy with us. We got too many people trying to find another place, trying to round up the speakers, trying to round places up for people that they can stay, you know. But the worth of it, the payday of this, is to meet everybody, to hear the stories that we won't ever get to hear any other way, and to maybe see even some artifacts that, unless you're there, you know, you wouldn't get to see these. You know, that's worth it. That's the treasure. That makes the whole thing worth it.
Well, you know, we've met different people, and about a month ago, some of the people we met invited us to come up with our metal detectors and go up Rock Creek on a little excursion up there, and that was very, very interesting. And just to meet the people of this family, they're just amazing people. So that was, you know, icing on the cake for us without even doing the gathering.
Yeah.
Well, you know, come up and grab one of us. Tell us where you came from Terry's videos and stuff.
Man, I think
just say hi.
I think there's people coming from all over. I know somebody from Tennessee. I know there's people coming from all over the place.
Come and grab us. Come tell us where you're from.
All the Utah boys, and you know what? We've been around for a while. I know all the old timer Utah boys, but there's a lot of new ones that I have no clue who they are, man. I want to meet you.
Me too. Me too.
I want to meet you and talk to you.
Me too. That's the fun part. Really is.
If you look me up on the side and I can talk, we can discuss such things as the burial that had a whole breastplate done in Spanish gold coins. The friend of mine who found it took it home. He was only 12 or something, showed his grandma. She was madder than a hornet. Said that they figured it might have bubonic plague or something involved with it. She took them all and threw them in the fireplace. This would have been back, I don't know, maybe 1930, 1940 or something. When he got to be 40 or 50 years old, he went back to his grandma's place, which is long since burnt down, to search the remains of the old fireplace and see if he could find them, and somebody else had gone in there with a metal detector or something, had already found them and taken them. But I have a lot of stories up in that area that are similar to that, and I'm sure that people that are there have similar stories. But
and that's what the open mic's for.
Well, and we got a call from one of the people up there that said one of the ladies that's coming, her father owned a store in Duchesne.
Oh yeah.
And
I think she's going to give the story that Friday night.
And so there's a lot more to that. So come and listen to her.
Good story.
Of how he traded with the Indians.
Enough said.
Yeah, don't wreck it for her.
So I guess with that said, just know that the place has changed just down the road. We're down the road now because of too many people have decided to come. Too many people called the Forest Service, and the Forest Service got a little bit nervous with all these people coming, so we had to change the.
And we got awful nervous when we found out too.
We got real nervous because we didn't know where we're gonna hold it, and thankfully the town of Altamont agreed to let us hold it at their city park. So
we got so lucky. It would have been over, and we don't know who to tell.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know who's coming. We don't know how to tell people other than this video. You know. So
yeah, if all the if all this supposed road damage occurred from all the cars parking on the side of the road, Mark wouldn't get out of jail for at least 10 years.
Oh, it's a blessing.
Then
it
you'd
happened.
have all kinds of different stories to tell.
Yeah, it's a blessing that it happened. It's a better place. It would be fun to talk Bigfoot at the lake, but it's all right. We're only a few miles from the lake.
Yep. So one more time, man. That's a wrap. We'll see everybody at Altamont now instead of Moon Lake, but maybe during the day we'll have a little powwow at
Absolutely. Come and get us. Grab us.
That's a wrap.